Has an odd-looking car ever been seen on the road? Or maybe you're the proud owner of a more bespoke style of a car than the regular models of the run-of-the-mill? Spotting odd cars speeding away will make us smile and brighten up our days, whether you're a driver or a lucky observer. Join us on a quest to find out the top 10 strangest-looking cars ever as we scour the globe, staring in awe at the fantastic ideas of design that have actually made it on the track. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more amazing top 10s. Number 10. Peel P50. The Peel P50 is a record breaker worldwide. It is listed as the smallest production car ever produced in the 2010 Guinness Book of World Records. Originally, this three-wheeled microcar was manufactured on the Isle of Man by the Peel Engineering Company for just 3 years, from 1962 to 1965. It was marketed as the ideal size to accommodate one shopping bag and one adult. No place in this tiny car for kids. It has only one door and a headlight, which is on the left-hand side. It was not an easy choice to go backwards in the Peel P50, as the vehicle has no reverse gear and must be manually maneuvered backwards using a handle at the rear of the car. Initially, only 50 of these rare small cars were made and only 27 are still known to exist. In March 2016, it sold at an auction for a whopping $176,000. Number 9. Ferrari 520S Modulo. You will be forgiven at first glance for thinking that the Ferrari 512S Modulo looks more like a spaceship than a vehicle. This unique-looking car has a canopy-style glass roof that slides forward to allow the driver to access the car's cabin with an extremely low, wedge-shaped frame. The Ferrari 512S Modulo, first exhibited at the Geneva show in 1970, was a prototype sports car. All four of the wheels of the vehicle are partially obscure, leading to the illusion that it's not a car but a hovering starship. The Ferrari V12 engine makes it possible for the Modulo to achieve a top speed of about 220 miles per hour in an incredible 3 seconds from 0 to 60 miles per hour. This thing will not only look like you're going to Mars, it will definitely feel like it when you're driving this thing. Number 8. General Motors Firebird. The General Motors Firebird cars were concepts inspired by combat aircraft design introduced in the Motorama auto shows of 1953, 1956, and 1959. For their cool name, Firebird, they undoubtedly ought to win an award, but these cars owe their concept to jet planes rather than to birds. 4 Firebirds, sleek and streamlined, have been planned and produced over the years. Their bubble-top roofs, the tail fins and short wings, and the steering operated by a joystick situated between 2 seats were some of their more unique features. This was intended to give a futuristic feel to the car and mimic the feeling of flying an aircraft. This car looks not only different per se, but it is a cool way. The best part is how the design was integrated and put onto 4 wheels. Not only that, but the amount of precision to detail is just incredible. I mean, just take a look for yourself. It's amazing. Number 7. Norman Timms Special. In the 2018 Malibu fires in California, this car was lost. Norman Timms, with previous Indy 500 car building experience, was a mechanical automotive technician based in Los Angeles. At a value of nearly $10,000, he designed this one-off streamliner in the 1940s. The style is said to have been influenced by the 1930s mid-engine auto union racers, like the one found in the California desert. Before this, it was sitting in front of a diner in Cali where kids used to play. Look closely and you'll see the depression behind the seat in the panel where kids will race up the rear of the car to get to the driver's seat. The vehicle is just 47 inches tall and sits on a wheelbase of 107 inches with a total length of around 17 feet. It has an aluminum shell over a chassis with a tube frame and weighs just 2,200 pounds. The engine is from an old Buick that used to be produced back then. For a plush ride, the Timms Special used an extensively adapted 1947 Ford suspension parts. Using Packard and Ford's driveline bits, Timms designed an independent rear suspension. It is reportedly 120 miles per hour capable. Number 6. DMC DeLorean. Popular in the Back to the Future films for its use as a time machine, the DMC DeLorean is actually a real vehicle. Between 1981 and 1983, the stylish luxury car was originally produced by the DeLorean Motor Corporation. Thanks to its gullwing doors, which moved upwards and outwards rather than the same way as a regular car door, this car stands out from those on the market. Although this function looks cool, squeezing into a tiny area in a supermarket car park will not exactly be useful. This car sadly did not live up to its impressive looks and hefty price tag. With dissatisfaction over its lack of power and performance being felt, in early 1983, development was brought to a stop. In 2007, it was assumed that there were about 6,500 DeLoreans still in existence. Although they can easily climb to speeds of 150 miles per hour, what could go wrong while driving at 88 miles per hour? In 2016, one DeLorean proprietor was reportedly arrested for speeding while driving his car at 88 miles per hour. Make sure to stick around until the end of the video, because you may have seen these cars before. Number 5. Fiat Multipla. The Fiat Multipla Type 186 is an odd-looking car that is fairly prevalent on the streets in the UK. It appears that the Multipla has an exceptionally large windshield. It has 2 rows of 3 seats inside instead of the more common format of having just 2 front seats. There is enough space inside the Multipla for all of the family, with the 3 front seats enabling the front seat to be changed and the rear seat to be removed or rotated in a variety of formats. Cargo capacity is also ample, making this a perfect vehicle for family vacations. The visuals of the Multipla did not, however, prove to be successful with drivers. During a show entitled Different Roads, Cars for the Next Generation in 1999, the concept of the Multipla was shown at the Museum of Modern Art in New York. The Top Gear Awards for Car of the Year 2000 and Ugliest Car were also won. Its odd presence, the Multipla has still not attached itself to drivers, being placed on a list of the ugliest cars in 2018 by the Sunday Times. Number 4. Stout Scarab. The Stout Scarab was the first minivan in the world. Its creator, William Bushnell Stout, imagined it as an office on wheels. Built in 1932, in order to optimize accessible space, the Scarab had a short nose and a long wheelbase. The body of the Scarab was intended to closely resemble the aluminum aircraft fuselage style. It was the first vehicle in the world to have a fiberglass body shell and air suspension. The Stout Scarab was considered to be an ugly car at the time of its development. It is still respected as a symbol of Art Deco. However, just about a dozen of these unusual vehicles have been built, and it is estimated that today there are only 5 remaining Scarabs. I mean, what can I say? This thing looks like an extended version of a Volkswagen Beetle. Everything is almost the same, except for that the Scarab is longer. I think I would enjoy riding this car with my friends. It would be a blast. Number 3. 1948 Tasco. Instead of wheels, this strange car looks a bit like it has feet. The 1948 Tasco, crafted by Gordon Bruhig, was an American sports car after World War II. It featured controls influenced by airplanes and was the world's first vehicle to have a T-top roof. Gordon sued them as he had the patent for this when GM used the same concept on the 1968 Corvette. For the American sports car manufacturer stands the name Tasco. The odd-looking wheel covers are intended to provide protection from the wind for the wheels, reducing drag and increasing speed. The Tasco prototype had an eye-watering experience, growing to a whopping $57,000. This implied that in the end, this car never really made it onto the manufacturing line. I mean, I wouldn't blame them. This thing looks like a mini tank, but without a huge gun on top of it. The wheels are shielded and it looks like it has bulletproof glass too. Make sure to stay until the end because the last 2 will blow your mind. Number 2. 1955 Chrysler Kia Streamline X Gilda. Chrysler sought to step away from its reputation for making boxy cars in the 1950s. The developer of this car seems to have taken inspiration from a bizarre kind of spaceship in reply to this. It was constructed at the demand of the manager of Chrysler, Virgil Exner, and was designed to demonstrate intense design and optimistic results. It premiered in 1955 at the Salone di Torino and later toured across Europe and the US. The car's nickname Gilda derives from the success of Rita Hayworth in the iconic 1946 noir Gilda. At the front of the vehicle, with its abnormally small cockpit positioned in a forward position, enormous tail fins are located. With a darker underside, the frame of the car has a 2-tone color scheme. To be completely honest with you, this is probably the best looking car on this list. Even though it is unusual, it is still a pretty stunning car to look at. Number 1. Reliant Robin. There are 4 wheels in most vehicles. Having just 3 wheels, 2 at the back and 1 at the front, the Reliant Robin bucks this pattern. The car was the second most successful fiberglass car in history, and for an amount of time, Reliant was the second largest UK-owned car company. The Reliant Motor Company manufactured the Reliant Robin over a 30-year period in Tamworth, England, selling several different models. First produced in 1973, due to its good design and inexpensive price tag, the MK1 Robin was well received. In 2000, the final Reliant Robin was created and was given away by the Sun newspaper in a Valentine's Day contest in 2001. Reliant 3-wheelers are always the butt of jokes in British society, and because of their unusual form, the Reliant Robin has also been affectionately called the plastic pig. The most popular of the dependent vehicles is probably the classic yellow van used in Only Fools and Horses by Del Boy Trotter. Well, that wraps up today's video. These are some of the strangest cars to ever roam the streets upon this earth. Who knows, maybe on Mars, they are going to be the in cars. Make sure to like, subscribe and hit the bell for more videos.